Hello and welcome. I'm Rick, and I have just started the Champion Individual Rights YouTube channel, which emphasizes the importance of digesting reality in a moral context. I promote for the recognition of individual rights on a global basis, with the understanding that every individual should have a right to their own life, privacy, and possessions, regardless of their ethnicity or the geography upon which they preside. Today, we live in a world where individual rights are not even recognized. Why is this happening, and what can we do to turn this thing around? We have to start by digesting reality in a moral context. Today, I was going to focus on the U.S. torturing people in the name of saving lives in Iraq, illusion. In digesting reality in a moral context, we have to understand that all morality stems from the recognition of individual rights. If you don't have a right to your life, then somebody can come up to you and put a bullet in your head, and there wouldn't be anything wrong with it. Thinking is uniting representations with well-defined moral values. One has to have defined moral values within their base perceptions, which are used in helping to make accurate determinations in regards to making morally sound judgments. And this is how we gain real experience. Thinking is uniting representations with well-defined moral values, which enables us to decipher reality in a moral context. In the Contamination, it has been thousands of years now that the human race has been controlled. The governments simply move in while you are at a young, vulnerable age and begin programming you with many ill-conceived perceptions. Within this contamination, within this thought process, individual rights are not recognized. Perceptions are filled with contradictions, words have no intrinsic meaning, and there are no well-defined moral values. Hence, reality is not deciphered in a moral context, and everything is propped up in this illusion through the good goal fallacy. Politicians operate under the illusion that their goals are so high, that they are so lofty, that they can do anything that they want in order to achieve their goals. This is an illusion. In reality, the higher your goals are, and the more people that they affect, all the more important that the means of obtaining your goals be good. U.S. mainstream news stations explained soon after we invaded Iraq that torture is necessary because it is used in order to gain strategic information that could equate to saving lives on the battlefield. Everybody can stop thinking now, that's a good goal. What's so wrong with saving lives on the battlefield? Before the U.S. invaded Iraq, I watched commercials that were run with great regularity explaining what a monster Hussein was for torturing people. Now, isn't it interesting? When Hussein tortures people, it is evil. But when the U.S. tortures people, it is deemed to be in the name of good. The U.S. invaded Iraq on what amounted to be a hoax. There were no weapons of mass destruction, nor ties to bin Laden and 911. And they even said they had proof, which they didn't. A lie is a contradiction to the facts of reality. Perceptions are filled with contradictions within the contamination, and this illusion that they are saving lives on the battlefield and it makes torture okay is just illusion. That's all it is. Now, as an end result of invading Iraq on a hoax, over 10,000 soldiers have been killed, and an estimated 1.4 million Iraqis are dead. The idea that U.S. politicians are in the life-saving business is absolute nonsense. Now, the U.S. has claimed that it has liberated Iraq. In reality, Iraq has been devastated with massive death, destruction, and suffering, all over what amounted to be a pack of outright lies. The deliberate killing of a large group of people of a different ethnicity or a particular nation is the definition of genocide, not liberation. Let's go ahead and throw the good goal fallacy up on Hussein. Hussein tortures people, but everything's okay, it's for the good. Because you see, Hussein believes that torture is necessary in order to gain strategic information that could equate to saving lives on his battlefields. Very important to understand, the good goal fallacy props up the illusion that an act of evil is for the good, when in reality, quote, If the goal be good, the means of obtaining the goal must be good, else the goal becomes corrupted. Today, the world is faced with a moral dilemma, and a moral dilemma requires a moral solution. It must be recognized that the moral law applies to all rational creatures necessarily, to all of humanity, including the political leaders of the world. There are no exceptions. It is only through our moral cognition that mankind can achieve its ultimatum, world peace through the recognition of individual rights on a global basis, with the understanding that every individual should have a right to their life, privacy, and possessions, regardless of their ethnicity or the geography upon which they preside. It's time to start fighting and promoting for your rights. It's time for a peaceful revolution of thought.